a lot of guys don't even know what mud season is and don't have to deal with mud season. I ran on my toe. All right, careful step. Careful. Cheek, careful. Careful. Careful.
Good morning and welcome to Working Horses with Jim. Today, Jim is back down at the log job, which is at our neighbor's just down the road. And we're going to take a walk on in and see what's up now that we're in mud season, but this morning it is frozen. It was about 22 degrees overnight. And it's a nice, the trail is nice and hard and frozen, but as you can see, Jim is parking near the road. He leaves a truck door open for Skippy. But I bet today, since I'm down here, Skip will not be staying in the truck. Anyways, we are headed down. It's about a quarter of a mile in that he now has to walk to get to the log job, since this will quickly turn to mud as the sun warms it up, which it tends to do this time of year. So let's go see what's going on as he is coming to the completion of this job. As we near the log job, you can see that even though it's frozen, it's not very frozen. There's a horse hoof and the cart has already broken through. Even though this area is very shaded, it's on the north side. It takes a long time for the sun to really hit it. Not until late afternoon does the direct sun hit it really here.
Good morning, guys. It is a beautiful spring day. It's like March, I don't know what it is, 12th, 13th, 14th, something like that. Anyways, it's a great spring day. So I want to explain a little bit about mud season even before we get started, and I'll try to make it somewhat brief so you guys can see more of working with the horses. So a lot of guys don't even know what mud season is and don't have to deal with mud season. For us in northern New York, mud season is the time of year, usually starts around March, at some point in March. Sometimes the beginning, sometimes the latter end of it, but usually sometime during March. And what happens, the warm weather starts coming, we lose the frost out of the ground, we lose the snow, and we end up with mud. And that's what has happened here already. I was able to log 3 days ago, I guess it was, and it was still frozen here somewhat. If you come right over here, where we're at on this log job is on the north side of these trees. So I planned that purposely so that I could have a colder landing, so that the snow and the ice would leave slower than it does on the south side of, where it gets more sun. As you can see, when Brenda was walking in, even on my road where I drive the truck normally, that a week and a half ago, that broke in such a way that I couldn't drive my truck and trailer in anymore. I drove in one time and made ruts, and so I'm all done. I have to walk the horses in across the field. But because I planned this way, I still have a fairly hard landing. Here is ice here now. It was in the 20s last night, but the landing is in this spot at least, is still frozen. It wasn't yesterday, it wasn't the day before that, but it's froze back enough. It didn't take much to freeze it back in. If I go down there that far at all, it's going to, wherever there's a mud puddle, the water will be froze over it. But as Brenda just showed you, if you step on it, the ice will break. Right here, it's not really a mud puddle per se, it's just frozen ground that is still frozen. All the snow and ice that's built up over the wintertime is still here mostly, which is great. So now I can continue logging a little bit this morning. I am probably going to be playing, well, as you can see from the last day I was here, I was playing in the mud some along my trail. I've got a whole bunch of dirt along this log right here. I decided a few days ago when I was skidding logs to not cut them up and putting them into the individual piles. I just decided I'm just gonna put everything right here at whatever length I pull them out. That is because I want to keep the dirty wood separate from the clean wood, for one, and for two, I can still work right here where the ice is still frozen, but when I get down further, as soon as it warms up a little bit, I'll be in mud, so I want to stay out of there. The skid steer is terrible in the mud. It will make ruts really fast. As you can see, I have my excavator here now, and recently we just had the whole undercarriage gone through. I put brand new rollers in it, brand new sprockets, and so I'm excited that I can use that again. That will go over the mud a lot better than the wheeled skid steer. If I get to the point here in the next few days where I am getting into mud, I will use the excavator to try and get these logs into a pile so I can just get this job done. Even if I fill up this area with logs that can't be put in a pile, that's okay. But this area here would fill up so fast, if I don't pile them into a pile, I would just be in a mess. So with both machines here, I'm pretty sure at least one of them will do the job. With the price of fuel, as we all know, going skyrocketing, it is really quite nice not to be able to need machinery very much. I use very, very little fuel on what I use for my machinery here on the landing because I just don't run it very often. I just pile logs and I'm done. So that's a really big thing. This morning, Brenda and I talked a little bit about money and how we have progressed over the years financially and how we're able to even do what we still really enjoy doing, even though some days, some log jobs don't bring in a lot of money. And one of these times, we're gonna do a video on that, I think, and share a little bit more about how that has progressed over the years and how and why we're still able to do it. So I've just got three little logs up here that I want to get out, and I'll just skid them down here, and at some point I'll get the skid steer started, and yeah. So guys, I have cut a whole bunch of trees down, and I'll explain what I did up in the woods in a little bit, and so let's get some of these logs down here on the landing. Whoops, gotta get my hard hat. So today I have Duke and Earl. I don't think I've even shown these two much logging together. And so today I'm going to show you guys how Duke and Earl have been doing. I have logged them off and on together, but more often than not, I'm working them individually with Bill and Lady. It just gives them a better experience than working alone, but there's times where they have to start working alone. So today is one of those times, and we're going to be working Duke and Earl together. So those of you who don't know, Duke and Earl are a pair of Suffolk punch horses that I bought when they were weanlings. So they weren't even a year old, and they are now 5 years old, and they're doing really well. And so we'll let you guys see how well they do working together in the woods. capstone. Brenda, you can stay right there. I'm going to go turn around, hitch on that little one. Ha. 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 Yep. Ha. 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 Yep. Ha. 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 Oh. Step a little bit. Careful. Eat. Oh. Oh. Nice step. Chop. Here. Here, there. G, back. There. G, back. G, oh. Back. 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 Oh. Yep. So what I'm going to do here, I hope anyways, is grab both of these basswood. I shouldn't have, or they shouldn't have any trouble pulling it. The problem is whether it can get around the corner, but we'll just have to wait and see on that. And it's not because of weight, it's because of length. They'll be kind of a little bit long, but we'll see. so I can't quite reach the chains. So I take my third chain that I have and hitch onto the chains. You'll see also I have my lion's actually hitched to this tree right here. And these guys are good, but I don't want to take any chances that they're going to walk away until I tell them to. So I just tie them. I got, as you can see, a lot of rocks here that these logs can hit. That might cause me trouble. Even the stump right there could be an issue, but I got a rolling hitch on that one, so it should roll out of there. So we'll just see how it goes. Cuffs up. Oh, bye, bye. Oh. So I'm cutting this one piece here and leaving this piece. I'll grab it with something else. This is being basswood. It's my kind of my lowest valued stuff, and so I personally don't even care if I just leave the rest of that right in the field, in the woods here. But I know that there's not going to go around that corner without tearing out these saplings, and even without that issue I still may have troubles, but we'll see. But as you saw, that tree right there hit that rock, and of course that stopped us. So all I'm going to do, I hope anyways, pull the chain out, flip it in the opposite way, and that will put a roll on this log, this tree, to roll away from this rock. Now I'm just going to go just a little ways and stop them, and then I'll get myself, and I'll get myself ready to turn. Hoop, ha, a little bit. Careful. Oh. Step, ha, careful. Ha. Hoop, Ha. Oh yeah, careful, Oh yeah. Oop, Oh. Ooh. Step a little bit. Ooh. I cussed up. So as you guys can see, as we head up this hill, last couple of days, I came in here for a couple hours one day and came in another day even and limbed some of them, but as you can see, I cut a whole bunch of trees up through here. And this is not what I would normally do when I'm logging, but those days I could not be skidding down onto my landing, so I decided I need to do something to be more productive to get this job done in the time when I want to get it done. So I decided to do it this way. But as you can see, I scattered all the trees way out. There's still trees here left to cut, but I didn't want to make a mess of myself, so they're all scattered all the way up the hill and then all the way to the other side of this little small area that I have left. And so that way I'm not making a mess for myself. So now today, all I have to do is come in here and cut. A lot of these trees will have to be cut in half to get around the corners and whatnot, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to skid this stuff out of here. So let's see how it goes. Javier, catch it. Careful. Coming your way, Brenda. Deep. Careful. Deep. G a little bit. G. Careful. G. Oh. There's a good example right there of how this bumper here works on a tree. Now, if that was a good tree, I wouldn't want to do that because it has a chance of getting through the cambium layer, which is the outer part of this bark, which I've been told if you break through the cambium layer, that's where you do the most damage, but it did not do that here. But it doesn't matter because this tree has a mark on it, so it's going to be cut anyways. So, but it's really nice having that bumper there to be able to do that at certain times. Back up here. Back here. Back. G. Back. G. Back. Oh. As you can see, this is a tight fit between these trees, or I'm against that tree, but still it's okay. Also, as you look around here, you will see rocks and rocks and rocks all over the place. When the snow was here, it was kind of nice because they were covered up, and you couldn't see them. A little bit. Oh, that was good and bad both, because just because you couldn't see them didn't mean they weren't there. Oh, G, and you'd step on them. G. Oh, and you slide right down because of the rocks. Now I can see the rocks, but I have to be very careful with them also. I ran on my toe. Okay, so this is quite a big maple here, and there's no way I can skid this all the way down like it is because it's way too long to get around that corner where I'm going. But I think I might hitch on, and just for fun I might ask them to pull the whole piece, and if nothing is hitched anywhere there, in other words if I cut all the limbs, which I believe I did, they should be able to handle this all right, even as big as it is, because we're just going a tiny little ways. But if they hesitate in any form, I'm going to immediately stop and cut that tree. Change your plans. I am going to cut it, even though I'm pretty confident they probably could pull it. There will be a few saw logs in this tree. This is a tree, this whole lot has been tapped, so I know there'll be very low quality logs, more than likely all pallet logs.
Explain what tapped means.
So Brenda asked me to explain the tap business. Tapped means this was a sugar bush, so they were used to make maple syrup for quite a few years. So they had drilled a hole into them, or several holes, to get the sap out of the tree. And in the process, what that does is starts to, well, it's an injury to the tree, and that injury will actually come up through the whole tree and make streaks in the tree, in the lumber, and so it makes it for a lower quality product. So most of this wood, that's why it's going for pallet wood, which is, pallet wood is when you buy a big piece of something, it comes on a pallet made out of wood. That's what we're talking about. So anyways, I'm going to come back here, and there's a curve right here of the tree, so I'm going to cut it right here. This would be a great spot to cut it. If you're curious why I left my saw running while I came back through, horses get used to things. And horses know that when the saw is running, they can rest. They know I'm not going to be asking them to pull. So there's times where in a situation like this, where if I shut the saw off back there, I've had some horses that would want to start right then and there. And so with that being said, by doing that, can be more confident that the horses will stand still while I'm coming back down through there. And that sounds kind of crazy, but it's true. Also, there's a lot of horses that know when they pulled something really heavy and they couldn't do it for some reason. They know when they hear the chainsaw start up again, from experience, they realize that, hey, he's going back to cut that log in half, so it'll be easier for us. and then they try again and they pull it out, and they actually know that sometimes as soon as I start it up again after a hard pull, it makes it easier. I know it might seem strange to think that, but horses are not as dumb as you might think, I guess you could say. So this log here is going to roll off this rock, and what it does, it's going to give a bit of a jar. So I'm not going to jump on the cart quite yet. I'm just going to pull it just a little ways before I get on. And calf step. Oh, bye. Oh, bye. As you see, I ran Earl almost right into the tree, so he didn't know quite where to go. Up, up, G, 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 calf step. G. Oh. I want to say a couple things right here, Brenda. Oh. So this particular job goes out that way quite a ways. And I purposely left this side hill right here next to the landing for last, because I knew I was getting close to running out of time and I really want to get this job done. So since I left this last, I realized that this is pretty steep hill right here, and going down these steep hills with these heavy loads, if you do it in the middle of winter time, the ice and snow gets so slick. When you're coming down, these logs would just slam right into my cart and really be hard, dangerous to get out of here. Whereas on dry ground like it is right now, it's much safer to be able to do it this way, because I know they might slide a little bit, but not that bad compared to when it's on ice. Also, I wanted to get the furthest away from the landing done while I still had snow on the ground, to take advantage of the snow and the ice road that I had to make it easier for the logs to slide out. And so now it's worked out really good for me, because I'm able to get that all done in the distance, and the close stuff up, which is all I have left, is right here. And it's just a matter of skidding it down this hill, which is easy for the horses, and just the short section of flat ground that goes into the landing, which is obviously a lot harder. Careful step. Careful. Cheek, careful. 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 Careful, careful. Careful. Oop. Nice step. Woohoo. Oop. Ooh. Ooh. Happy. Bye. Oh. Oh. I didn't see this coming, but we stopped right here. I was going really slow and stopped, and we just stopped dead, like there is and was a rock down there that stopped us. So hopefully the rolling hitch will pop it out of there. It cuts out. Oh. Bye. 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 Oh. That caps out. Oh. 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 Cap that. Oh. Nice step. Careful. Oh. Ah. Backwards. Oh. Ha. 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 A ver. A ver. Oh. Regarde ça. Oh. Happy ha. Bye. Bye. Ha. 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 Careful. Careful. Oh. Bye. Oh. G. 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 Bye. Step G. 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 Careful. Careful. Ha. Oh. Bye. Oh. Nice step. Careful. Careful. Oh. Bye. Huh? Nice step. Careful. G, 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 G. Oh my. Careful. Hip, G, G, G. Careful. Hip, G, G. Left. Left there. Oh. Oh. I'll take this out. I'm gonna move some stuff there and I'm gonna come up around there and get that trail opened up again. Because actually most of that stuff can come down that trail there. Be a heck of a lot easier. So, anyways. It's out hard about. Jeep. Oh.
Well, I think I'm going to head back home and let Jim get about his business without having to worry about me up in the woods. But I'm just kind of surrounded by wood here that they all got out this winter, and it's quite amazing that it all came out 1 or 2 sticks at a time. And it looks so amazing because usually on log jobs, you know, the log truck will come in and take some away as he goes, but here it's all stockpiled up. So shows all of the work for the winter. So I do hope that you enjoyed our little visit to the woods. Every time I come, I learn something, and I hope you did too. And stay tuned. We'll have more things on farming, especially as the weather warms up, and all of the many things we do here in the woods and on the farm with the horses. So you guys take care and have a great day.